Guys, when we look at these quarterbacks, and this comes to mind because several comments were made in the live chat concerning attributes of the various quarterbacks. The Kyle McCord has maybe the best arm, an NFL kind of arm eventually. Of course, CJ Stroud showed us some wheels against Michigan State. Is there a quarterback, obviously the guy that shows the leadership, because Ryan Day has outlined that being paramount, and then the skills and the ability to run the offense and all those things. But is there, based on what you guys have seen and know of the scouting reports on these three, a quarterback who may fit what Ryan Day wants and what this offense dictates, or better than the others?
I think until we see any of them attempt to pass, I mean, the information is very limited. We're going off of huddle tapes. We didn't see Jack Miller or CJ Stroud attempt a collegiate pass last year. They were both in there as either runners or handing the ball off or whatnot. So, you can sit there and you can look at the body of work of each of them. And, this is what CJ does. This is what Jack does. This is what Kyle does or whatever. But you never really know how that's going to translate at this point. I mean, if not, I mean, it would just be a case of the people who are recruiting the highest 4 or 5 rated quarterbacks each year would just, wash, rinse, repeat, and be able to just keep it going. You don't know at this point. I mean, I think that a lot of people are pushing their chips in on CJ Stroud just based on him having the 1 year in the program, maybe based off of what they saw him do at Elite 11. I mean, he does have some good wheels. He can make a lot of the throws or whatnot, but we don't know what he looks like against a rush. I mean, what little we've seen out of him has been extremely stunted in terms of what the play calling has been. So, I don't know. Maybe one of the other guys has some more insight on there than I do, but I kind of want to see it against live competition and not against theoretical stuff at this point.
Yeah, it would just be conjecture at this point. There's no way of knowing who the coaches are pinpointing as their guy behind closed doors. It sounds like they're all getting equal number of reps with the 1s and the 2s, so that they're each getting an equal opportunity to show what they can do. And they will fit an offense around whoever they feel is the best quarterback, I think, at the end of the day. And it could be a case where 2 guys end up playing a little bit, or, you just never know how this is all going to shake out. I mean, it does start out pretty quickly with the game at Minnesota and back home with Oregon. So there's not a lot of time for experimentation. It's kind of on-the-job training it's going to be for these guys. And you figure it'll be a full crowd of people at TCF Bank Stadium as well up there, hopefully, when the season kicks off in early September. So, I am of a mind that, look, it's great to worry and wonder about who it's going to be, but it's the process. We just need to let it play out and just assume that whoever wins the job is going to be a very good player for Ohio State. That's all we could do at this point.
I think it's not meaningless that CJ Stroud was the backup quarterback last year. Ryan Day said it would fluctuate between him and Jack Miller, but after that first game when it was Jack Miller, it was CJ Stroud every other time, including in the playoffs. So I don't think that's meaningless. However, he did so little as a backup quarterback that I don't think the lead that he had on anybody is out of reach for anyone. In terms of who fits what Ryan Day wants to do, let's keep in mind Ryan Day's quarterbacks at Ohio State have been J.T. Barrett, Dwayne Haskins, and Justin Fields, and all 3 of them had fantastic seasons under Ryan Day's offense. So he can maximize whoever you have, and maybe Justin Fields is the best answer in terms of what Ryan Day can do, because Justin Fields can do anything, and he's a better runner than JT Barrett in terms of speed and size and strength. He's maybe a better passer than Dwayne Haskins. So he's like the perfect guy for any offense. But like who is the closest to him? I don't know. It's CJ Stroud. Anytime you get a quarterback that can bust a 52-yarder or whatever it was, I mean that's a guy who can run. But Jack Miller had a 22, 23-yard run in his debut as well. And Kyle McCord can run enough. So if it comes down to all of these guys can run better than Dwayne Haskins. And I feel like that's the minimum that a quarterback needs to do to be able to run and just to at least show that you are willing to keep the ball on those read options to slow down the defensive ends and the defensive line. I think that's key, and all of those guys can do that. So just with that alone, then that helps the running game, and that makes the quarterbacks better. And I think any of the three would fit whatever Ryan Day wants to do.
Wasn't it Stephen A. Smith that was out there with the 1 year touting Dwayne Haskins' running abilities, or somebody who had obviously who watched the one game up in Ann Arbor or whatever, and the one run he had where he didn't quite make it to the end zone, and he got summarily just dragged through Twitter for just a real blind statement.
Something about yeah, he can run, but can he throw? Or all he does is run. Some really ignorant.
Something dumb.
Mm-hmm.
That same individual was once breaking down a Chargers-Chiefs game in December, and about something like 4 of the 6 players he named were not on those teams or were injured from earlier in the season and were not playing. Had not played for weeks.
Just wait till Dan Fouts gets back. They can't win with this Ryan Leaf guy.
That's it right there.